Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something powerful right out of the gate. When was the last time you truly felt unstoppable? I'm not talking about surviving the day. I'm talking about waking up with clarity, moving with strength, and living with purpose, every cell in your body firing with energy, drive, and resilience. Now, if you're a man over 60, you've probably been told that slowing down is just part of the deal, that fatigue, brain fog, and diminished vitality are simply the price of aging. But neuroscience and human biology say otherwise. And today, I want to share with you something transformative: three essential vitamins that are not just helpful, but critical for maintaining energy, peak performance, and deep vitality well into your 60s, 70s, and beyond. As men age, particularly beyond 60, a common narrative is that slowing down is natural and unavoidable. Society often conditions us to accept fatigue, reduced mental sharpness, and declining physical performance as normal consequences of aging. However, this is not entirely true. While aging does bring about physiological changes, the decline in energy and vitality is often more related to micronutrient deficiencies and lifestyle choices than age itself. The first key point of the speech emphasizes that aging doesn't mean decline, an idea strongly rooted in modern neuroscience and human biology. Our bodies are remarkably adaptive even in later years. In fact, with the right inputs, the body continues to respond to stimulus, repair itself, and build strength well into the 60s, 70s, and beyond. The human brain maintains a degree of neuroplasticity, meaning it can still learn, adapt, and form new neural connections. Muscles can still grow, bones can be strengthened, and hormonal systems can be balanced. The tools to activate this potential aren't experimental or extreme. They are foundational, and one of the most overlooked components is proper micronutrient support. Energy, performance, and vitality are all deeply connected to the body's ability to function at a cellular level. Cells need certain vitamins and minerals to efficiently carry out metabolic processes, repair damage, regulate hormones, and fight inflammation. When the body lacks these key inputs, like vitamin D3, B12, or K2, it's as if it's trying to run on an empty tank. The result is low energy, brain fog, poor recovery, and a feeling of being off, which many mistakenly attribute purely to aging. By contrast, when the body is supplied with the right nutritional support, it begins to respond quickly. Hormone levels can rebalance, especially testosterone, which is key for male vitality. Mitochondrial function, the part of the cell responsible for energy production, can improve dramatically. Cognitive sharpness returns as neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin are better regulated. Joints and bones regain resilience. This isn't about becoming superhuman. It's about restoring your baseline to what it should be, not what society has convinced you is normal after 60. Furthermore, research from the fields of neurobiology and endocrinology has shown that perception matters. When men believe they are still capable of growth and performance, and when they take actionable steps toward supporting their biology, their outcomes improve measurably. Mindset is a catalyst, but it must be backed by biology. This is where targeted vitamin intake plays a critical role. It's the most efficient and evidence-backed way to nourish systems that keep men energized and sharp as they age. To reject decline is not to deny aging. It is to understand that your biology is still willing to work with you if you're willing to work with it. You don't have to accept chronic fatigue, weakness, or low motivation as your new normal. With the right nutritional tools, a man over 60 can feel not only alive, but truly optimized. Vitamin D3 plays a far more critical role in male health than most people realize, especially after the age of 60. It's often referred to as a vitamin, but in truth, it behaves more like a hormone. influencing a vast range of biological processes that directly impact energy, physical performance, and overall vitality. For older men, maintaining optimal vitamin D3 levels can mean the difference between a slow, depleted day and one full of motivation, mental clarity, and physical strength. The science is clear. When vitamin D3 levels are low, a cascade of imbalances follows. One of the most important roles vitamin D3 plays is in supporting testosterone production. Testosterone is the primary male hormone responsible for maintaining muscle mass, bone density, motivation, libido, and overall drive. As men age, testosterone levels naturally decline, but suboptimal vitamin D3 exacerbates this decline. Numerous studies have shown that men with sufficient levels of vitamin D3 tend to have higher testosterone levels than those who are deficient. It acts as a regulatory signal that keeps the hormonal system functioning efficiently, even as the body ages. By ensuring adequate vitamin D3, men over 60 can support their body's own natural hormone production, which directly translates into more energy, physical strength, and better mental performance. Another powerful benefit of vitamin D3 lies in its influence on the immune system. As we age, immune efficiency begins to decrease, leaving us more susceptible to illness and slower recovery times. Vitamin D3 plays a key role in regulating immune responses and reducing chronic inflammation, which is a hidden driver behind many age-related conditions. When inflammation is high, energy is low. The body is in a constant state of stress, draining resources that should be used for energy production, cognitive function, and muscle recovery. Optimal vitamin D3 levels help quiet this internal stress, freeing up energy and supporting recovery and resilience. Beyond hormones and immunity, vitamin D3 has a direct impact on neuromuscular coordination and bone health. Older adults are at greater risk of falls and fractures, not just because of weakening bones, but also due to impaired balance and muscle control. Vitamin D3 supports calcium absorption and utilization, ensuring that bones remain strong and mineralized. It also aids in muscle contraction and coordination, which together improve stability, strength, and the ability to move with confidence. This alone can dramatically enhance quality of life and physical freedom in later years. Sunlight exposure, the primary source of vitamin D3 synthesis, tends to decrease with age due to lifestyle changes and less time spent outdoors. Combined with reduced skin efficiency in converting sunlight into D3, supplementation becomes even more important for older men. When vitamin D3 is optimized, it acts like a switch restoring hormone balance, improving immune defense, reducing inflammation, and enhancing physical function. These are not small changes, they are fundamental shifts in how the body operates daily. For men over 60, ensuring sufficient vitamin D3 is not just a health recommendation. It is a critical foundation for living with strength, clarity, and energy. Vitamin B12 is one of the most essential nutrients for sustaining energy, cognitive clarity, and overall vitality, especially in men over 60. As the body ages, its ability to absorb this crucial vitamin declines due to changes in digestion and the reduction of stomach acid needed to release B12 from food sources. This often leads to a deficiency that goes unnoticed because the symptoms, fatigue, memory lapses, weakness, and mood changes, are frequently misattributed to aging itself. In reality, what many perceive as the normal signs of aging are in fact often preventable and reversible effects of low B12 levels. B12 is a key player in the production of red blood cells. These cells are responsible for transporting oxygen throughout the body, delivering it to the brain, muscles, and organs. When B12 levels are insufficient, red blood cell production drops, and so does the oxygen supply. The result is a persistent sense of fatigue, low endurance, and mental fog that no amount of sleep or caffeine can fix. When oxygen delivery improves through optimal B12 intake, the difference is felt across the board. Men report more stamina, better concentration, and improved recovery after exertion. It's a change that can be life-enhancing in both subtle and profound ways. The nervous system also relies heavily on B12. It plays a vital role in the production of myelin, the protective sheath around nerves that allows for fast and efficient communication between the brain and body. Without enough B12, nerve conduction slows down, leading to symptoms like tingling in the hands and feet, poor coordination, and cognitive decline. In fact, B12 deficiency is one of the few reversible causes of memory loss and mood disorders in older adults. When properly addressed, memory sharpens, reflexes improve, and even emotional balance is restored. It's not just about feeling better, it's about reclaiming function that was never truly lost, just undernourished. Furthermore, B12 supports the synthesis of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, which are crucial for maintaining mood, motivation, and a sense of mental well-being. Low levels of B12 can contribute to feelings of depression, irritability, and apathy, emotions that significantly affect one's quality of life and sense of purpose. As levels return to optimal, many men describe not just better mental clarity, but also a renewed sense of motivation and drive. This is especially important in the later decades of life, when a strong sense of direction and engagement becomes essential to both mental and physical health. For men over 60, supplementing with vitamin B12, especially in the form of methylcobalamin or hydroxycobalamin, can offer a safe, effective, and research-backed method to restore energy and clarity. Since many older adults have trouble absorbing B12 from food alone, supplementation or even periodic B12 injections are often necessary to reach therapeutic levels. Once this deficiency is corrected, it's not uncommon to feel as though a heavy weight has been lifted, because in many ways it has. The body and brain can finally operate at their intended capacity, and life becomes lighter, sharper, and more vibrant. Vitamin K2 is one of the most underappreciated yet crucial nutrients for men over 60 who want to maintain energy, cardiovascular health, and physical strength. While it's often overshadowed by more commonly discussed vitamins, K2 plays a unique and powerful role in directing calcium where it belongs in the body, into the bones and teeth, and keeping it out of the arteries and soft tissues where it can cause harm. This function is especially critical as we age, because calcium mismanagement becomes a major factor in both bone loss and cardiovascular disease, two leading concerns for older men. One of the primary benefits of vitamin K2 is its ability to support arterial health. As men age, there's an increased risk of calcium buildup in the arterial walls, a condition known as arterial calcification. This stiffens the blood vessels, reduces blood flow, and significantly raises the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Vitamin K2 activates a protein called matrix GLA protein MGP, which binds excess calcium and prevents it from accumulating in the arteries. In this way, K2 acts like a traffic controller for calcium, ensuring it's used where it's needed and kept out of where it's dangerous. The result is better blood flow, healthier circulation, and reduced strain on the heart, key factors in sustaining endurance, vitality, and overall longevity. Equally important is K2's role in maintaining strong bones. After the age of 60, bone density typically declines, increasing the risk of fractures, especially in the hips and spine. While calcium and vitamin D3 are often recommended for bone health, without K2, much of that calcium may not actually reach the bones. K2 activates another protein called osteocalcin, which binds calcium and incorporates it into the bone matrix. This process makes bones denser and more resilient. For men who want to stay active, avoid injury, and maintain independence, strong skeletal support is essential, and vitamin K2 is a vital part of that equation. In addition to cardiovascular and skeletal benefits, emerging research shows that vitamin K2 also plays a role in mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are the energy generators within cells, and they are especially important for muscle cells, brain cells, and the heart. K2 has been shown to improve mitochondrial efficiency, which means the body can produce more energy with less cellular stress. This is particularly important for aging men, as mitochondrial function naturally declines over time, contributing to fatigue and reduced performance. By supporting mitochondrial health, K2 helps preserve stamina, focus, and cellular resilience. Since dietary sources of K2 are limited, mainly found in fermented foods like natto, certain cheeses, and organ meats, many older adults don't get enough through food alone. Supplementation becomes a practical solution, especially in forms like MK7, which has longer activity in the body. When K2 is present at optimal levels, the body functions more smoothly, blood flows more freely, bones stay stronger, and cells generate more energy. For men over 60, this means living not just longer, but with more power, clarity, and confidence every day.